On this episode of Searching for History, we're going to try to answer the question, why was there a park in Olympia called Priest Point Park, and today it's called Squaxin Park?
The people of the water, the Squaxin Island Tribe, has lived on these lands and waters since time immemorial.
The land that is now the City of Olympia was once called Lushootseed, which means frequented by black bears, and the village that was once here was called Steh-Chass.
The area and the Squaxin peoples who lived in villages along the shores of Budd Inlet were known as the Steh-Chass.
Squaxin Park, which is right over there, is located at an ancient trading port where the Steh-Chass met with other tribes to conduct intertribal trading.
In 1848, at the request of the Hudson's Bay Company, French Catholic missionaries known as the Oblate Fathers established a mission at Budd Inlet.
The Catholic missionaries displaced the local native peoples.
The head of the mission, Father Pascal Ricard, established St. Joseph de Olympia Mission and School for Native American Boys, with the purpose of conversion to Christianity and the abandonment of native spiritual and cultural practices.
This is basically one of those forced assimilation schools and a bit of dark history for Olympia that not very many people know about. An 1854 General Land Office map shows the location of the mission somewhere in the vicinity of this park. It's likely just south of the park in the adjacent neighborhood.
Right around here was where the mission school would have been located. There is an 1864 General Land Office map that shows a donation land claim of 325 acres to Pascal Ricard.
After the dissolution of the mission, the land changed hands many times, eventually ending up being owned by the City of Olympia.
Originally named Priest Point Park, the name was changed to Squaxin Park in April 2022.
Some 10 to 15 years ago, I was involved with an excavation of a restoration activity in the vicinity of the park. And we found quite a few artifacts that was evidence of the mission school. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures to share with you guys, but some of the artifacts were things like a prosser button, which is a button from the early to mid 19th century, kind of associated with the Hudson Bay Company era. We found a piece of a chalkboard slate, one of those like kind of handheld slates that 19th century kids would write on. And we found a piece of Hudson's Bay Company era glass, so colored glass with bubbles in it that had been napped into a projectile point. So Erin, what are your thoughts on the name change from Priest Point Park to Squaxin Park?
It's nice that the name now reflects the people who originally lived here. But I have to say, growing up calling it Priest Point Park it's been challenging to make the shift. And I think that while it's good to remember that the Squaxin Island tribes lived around here, it's also important history to remember that those French missionaries set up a mission here.
The history of Squaxin Park, formerly Priest Point Park, It's actually kind of a dark history of forced assimilation, and it's something that people around here are not that familiar with. I think a lot of people here in Olympia don't realize that Budd Inlet was the home of the Steh-Chass, and that there were villages in various locations around Budd Inlet. We also would like to apologize for our poor pronunciation of Lushootseed words, so hopefully we haven't offended anyone.
If you get a chance, take the time to learn about the history around here. It's really interesting. Don't forget to like, share, comment on this video, and please subscribe to Searching for History.
Thanks for watching. It got really windy.
It got really windy.
Hopefully you guys can hear us.